Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie, and this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, or if you're listening to us on a podcasting platform, go over there and leave us a review. 5 stars would be best, but whatever you think that we deserve. And we're in a nice little spot for superhero fans. My Adventures with Superman just dropped the first 2 episodes of the season. We had X-Men 97. We're looking forward to Deadpool, and of course, The Boys is coming out in a couple weeks. So it's a really nice time for Caped Crusading. But before we talk about this week's news, I want to holler at my boy Lottie. Lottie, my man, what's going on this evening? What you been up to that's nerdy?
Watching, of course, My Adventures of Superman. Playing just a couple of games here and there. Been actually doing better on creating videos on YouTube. Made a video recently. Not the one about Assassin's Creed, but I made another one about Helldivers 2 that just crossed 1.5K viewers. I think I figured out the algorithm a little bit. So, stay tuned. I'll have some more videos out on different things I want to talk about.
Yeah, I listened to that video. I don't play Helldivers, obviously, but I'm aware of it. And so it was a pretty good video, man. I reposted it. So good on you, man. Just tell them people come over and listen to some stuff on the Supercast. But it's all good though. That's cool, man. I have been catching up on Star Trek Discovery because the season finale is coming out this week. I have also, Lottie, my daughter and all, we finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the cartoon series, which was really, really cool. I was really glad we got to watch through that. I understand you haven't seen this show. That's what I've heard. So I'm going to recommend you go check that out. I definitely know. I know you like anime, so you pretty much will like this. It's a little more. It's like imagine the parts of Naruto that happened at the village before they went on the wave arc, but then they eventually they go on the wave arc. It's like that level of stuff. It's more fun and lighthearted, but it's good times. That's most of my nerdy stuff. I pretty much I'm getting ready to start watching like Doctor Who and a few other things. So who has time for that? I'm trying to figure that out. So anyway, we are going to talk about superhero stuff as we do on the show. And this week we got some interesting things. Like there's a showrunner for a new Disney Plus Marvel show that you may or may not be surprised about. We have 2 new creators attached to the DC Studios Lantern TV show that was announced a couple years back. We also, have some rumors to talk about Avengers 5, also about Blade. And Antony Starr, he has some interesting opinions about what would happen in a fight between Superman and Homelander. And he also talks about rumors about his friendship with James Gunn. And then we're going to go ahead and review the Marvel Studios What If an Immersive Story trailer, and also the Wolverine-based fan film called Logan the Wolf. So it should be a good time. Lottie, you ready to go, man?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's get into this. So, Lottie, it's been announced in Variety, so this is very, very reliable, that there is a Vision TV show coming to Disney Plus in 2026. Doesn't have a title yet, but this is a spinoff of, WandaVision. The last time we saw Vision, it was White Vision, right? The the android with no soul stone, but the memories of the implanted memories from Wanda of Vision. And so we never knew what happened to him. We know what happened to Wanda. She's, buried under rubble right now, but, he's flying around doing something. So this is what this is all about. And apparently, Lottie, this is kind of an offshoot that was started, I think was started by Jack Schaefer, who was the, creator and showrunner of what was it, WandaVision. So she unfortunately couldn't finish this treatment because she had to do Agatha all along. And so now they're bringing in a veteran, a TV veteran, who has some pretty great credits, actually. Terry Matalas, who, if you are a Star Trek fan, you will know that he has been involved with some pretty well-known Star Trek things. Started out on Star Trek Voyager, worked on Star Trek Enterprise. Most recently, in the Star Trek realm, was the co-showrunner, and then season 2 of Star Trek Picard, and the showrunner of the well-received 3rd season of Star Trek Picard. And also, apparently, he was a showrunner of the 12 Monkeys TV show, which I think ran for 4 or 5 years. So, Lottie, I mean, I don't think you're a Trekkie, but you've heard of these things, and you've heard of the 12 Monkeys show. And you hear about Vision. It's coming to Disney in 2026. First of all, are you even excited to see that show? And are you aware of this guy and his credentials?
So my thing is that I'm aware of the director, and I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I've heard of him. I'm just trying to think, what would a Vision TV show entail?
Well,
Going back to
I've
Vision.
heard that this could be based on the Vision Quest, comic series, which I believe it's from either the mid to late 80s. It's about when I think the White Vision first came around, and White Vision was very prominent in the 90s. In the 70s, when it was originally conceived, because Vision was originally like a villain, and but he was a robot, and he was like green and orange, and the colors we saw in the TV show. The White Vision was what came later on in the 80s. But this is, I guess, about him, sort of it's a weird, convoluted history. That's what I'm trying to say. And he's pretty much, I guess, becoming a hero again or something like that, trying to figure out himself, but he's actually a robot. It's strange.
The White Vision is actual Vision.
Yeah, so his body. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the soul stone, so he's not, quote, human or whatever you want to call it, the way the Vision we know is. It's so, yeah. But there's also the possibility they could draw in parts of a story, I guess a comic that this is probably about 10 or 12 years ago, where Vision has an android family where he creates or somehow creates a wife and 2 kids. And I believe those kids may be running around the Marvel Comics universe now. But it's a weird, like, Stepford Wives, but also because they have to go to school and everything. But it's like this weird sort of, almost Tim Burton-esque sort of treatment of the character. So it could be that too.
My only warning for this TV show is that it's going to be 5 years since WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. True.
That is the one thing that is kind of a little bit of a apprehensive when it comes to this show, that it is a long time to make a sequel or a continuation of a story of a character. Like, it's been 5 years. It's going to be 5 years since we've seen Division.
Yeah, and then a lot of the people that are into the MCU haven't watched that show, even with Multiverse of Madness. So which is unfortunate. If anything, I think Feige and them need to figure out how to really drive people to the TV shows, because I mean, by by most people's estimation, WandaVision is, if not the best, one of the top 2 or 3,
I think
MCU
I'm gonna
shows.
just be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just straight up be honest. Disney needs to quit being scared and and they got to quit being scared of holding on to their old shows. Like, there's no reason why WandaVision is not on Netflix, Amazon, and everything by now. It's next year will make 4 years since that show's come out. Like, you're already starting to see other network like exclusive shows starting to show up on other uh streaming networks. Disney, that's the way to do it. Like, put your show on other streaming networks. Like, there's no reason why the original 3 Marvel TV shows are not on Amazon Prime, Max, and all that stuff by now. Like,
I
Max.
I
Well, not Max, but Amazon Prime and Netflix by now.
I think that's actually pretty smart. I think they should do that because what do they have to lose? It's not like people are flocking to
There's
Disney
literally no
Plus.
reason.
Yeah,
There's
nobody,
literally no reason to keep
nobody's flocking to Disney Plus looking for
for a
WandaVision.
3-year-old TV
Yeah,
show.
but
It literally makes no
but
sense.
if it lands on Netflix, first of all, Netflix is going to pay a pretty penny for it.
Exactly.
Second of all,
And Netflix will push the shit out.
they'll put that bitch front and center. Is and
Exactly.
Amazon Prime the same way, Max even more so. Probably, honestly, the way Max is right now, they would happily throw that up there. So that makes sense. I will say Paul Bettany is definitely coming back for this. Vision is generally considered one of a fan favorite character, and I think people want to see more of him. So I think this is a smart deal. And Terry Matalas, look, season 3, I wasn't a huge fan of season 3 of Picard, and I haven't even finished it, but I will admit it was a fan favorite. So this was a super smart hiring choice by Feige to get this a veteran showrunner, and they need veteran showrunners at DC was at Marvel Studios so they can get their TV on point. So good on them. I'm happy. I want to see more about this. We'll keep an eye out. It's not coming out till 2026, but they're going to work on it in the coming year, and we'll let you guys know all about it when we hear more information. Speaking of TV, we're going over to DC Studios. Man, I'm telling you, I love James Gunn and his just propensity for social media. The guy knows what's up. So he was on Threads and he's posted basically saying, "Hey, welcome to the team," to a couple of actually kind of big names. And they are going to be working on the Green Lantern. I guess it's just called Lanterns. Show that they were talking about, which was essentially pitched as True Detective for Green Lanterns. That's going to be the first place we see Kyle Rayner and Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, I know a lot of you are super excited to see him in live action. I'm super excited to see him in live action. Damn near every millennial is excited to see Jon Stewart in live action. And so that's where we're going to see him in this. But what's important here is the creative heads behind this, the showrunners and so forth. And there's some heavy hitters. First of all, it's Tom King, who we already know is part of James Gunn's brain trust over there at DC Studios. He's a pretty well regarded comic book writer. He's been helping to sort of get together the whole DC universe. So okay, cool, Tom King. But he also said Damon Lindelof and Chris Mundy. So Damon Lindelof, I'll get to him in a second. He's kind of a big name. Chris Mundy, I don't know him as well, but all someone had to say to me was he was the showrunner of Ozark on Netflix. And Lottie, I don't know, did you ever watch? I only watched one episode of Ozark, but I don't know if you ever checked it out.
Never watched it.
Okay, well, essentially, think Breaking Bad. But like, instead of meth, it's money laundering. And this guy moves his family. He works for a cartel. He has to move his family to the Ozarks. in order to not be murdered by them, and instead he has to set up an operation to launder like 100 or $200 million a year in the Ozarks. And it's all about him sort of like doing that, not being killed by the cartel, not getting messed up by the local, crime or whatever like that, something like that. The first episode is intense as hell, and I hear it's really good. And in fact, if you want to know an Ozark connection, Shalabal, not Shalabal, and that's gonna, she's the one young lady that's gonna play Shalabal in Fantastic Four, won Emmys for being in the Ozarks TV show. So quality. That's what I'm trying to say. This dude, he's a showrunner and knows what the hell's going on, right? Good story, storyteller. He's got trophies and stuff to show for it. Damon Lindelof, I shouldn't have to explain who he is, but I'll explain who he is anyway. Damon Lindelof is the guy behind Lost. And Lottie, I mean, I didn't watch Lost, but god dang, for like 10 years, that was like, that had people in a stranglehold. The mystery of it's a big old mystery box show that didn't necessarily stick the landing, but it's well regarded by a lot of people. In addition, he was also the creator and showrunner and one of the head writer, all that stuff on DC, on Max's or whatever. Or maybe it's just HBO, but Watchmen, the Watchmen sequel series that came out 4 or 5 years ago, and that was an excellent show. I loved Watchmen. I absolutely loved it. I did not believe that they could do it justice, and they did. They more than did the Watchmen story justice with that sequel series. So, I mean, I'm running my mouth about this. I can't. I'm letting y'all know I am really fucking excited about this turn of events, because as great as it is to have actors announced or whatever, they can't do shit without good writing. And they have set themselves up for success here with this trio of writers. And I'm assuming they're going to have more people in the writer's room. But anyway, Lottie, I mean, what do you think? Are you looking forward to this? Does this make you more excited about this?
I mean, listen, I'm excited just to see. I'm excited just to see the Green Lantern part of just main live action DC, or even if it is not like live action, even if this might be animated, but it's pretty much live action, right?
Yeah, it's live action.
Yeah, to see the Green Lanterns live action again, which of course, everyone says Gen X is Hal Jordan, Millennial is John Stewart, and literally, I don't care what anybody says. I dare someone come into the comments or anything say that John Stewart is not Green Lantern. Collectively, a billion people will uppercut you into the outer space.
I don't think anyone with any seriousness will say shit like that. I mean, it's like if you grew up in the 90s or in the mid 2000s, John Stewart was that dude. So that's that.
Yeah.
So we're getting live action, man. But the creators here, though, like their pedigree is pretty stellar. It's to me. I don't know if did you watch the Watchmen show?
No.
I don't. I would say, I mean, I'll recommend it. I think it's really great. I would also say watch Zack Snyder's Watchmen first, or read the comic. Either do one of the two. Either read the Watchmen comic or watch the movie. Either one will help you understand what's happening in the TV show. But the TV show is really great. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is in it, and he has a really unexpected role. But Regina King's in it. She's really cool. It's good stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. And these guys know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to TV. So, I mean, good. God damn it, James Gunn. Lottie, is James Gunn ever going to take an L? He's just like doing all the right things as far as I can tell over at DC Studios.
he's making sure that, as they said, if this is going to succeed, it has to be great.
Yeah. He's built. He's
And
building.
making
He's
sure that
building.
it's like that.
He's building the team not for one championship run. He's building it for a dynasty, as far as I can tell. Like
Yeah.
this is crazy. This talent is ridiculous. So he's not he's not taking his talents to South Beach. He's he's taking them to Metropolis. So anyway, that's cool. We'll keep an eye on this. I can't wait till we get some information about Lanterns. We'll let you guys know all about it then. So it's time to talk rumors, as we always do. Look, we shouldn't be giving these rumors oxygen, but I mean, we're nerds talking about superhero stuff. We can't help this. And this is some interesting and possibly, alarming news over at Marvel Studios. You know, they're retooling. They got stuff going on. One of the things they're retooling is Avengers. Avengers 5, which was supposed to be Kang Dynasty. But thanks to Jonathan Majors and his pimp hand, we're not getting Kang Dynasty, apparently. We heard that they were, retitling it. Now it's just Avengers 5. But now we're hearing, the rumor is, that it's going to be, rather than a lead-in or a two-parter or whatever with Secret Wars, in fact, Avengers 5 may, in fact, be a standalone Avengers movie. And I've even heard that maybe it'll be a little bit more street level. Who knows? But as a consequence, Avengers Secret Wars will go on to be, a big event film that'll be a 2-film deal. So, Lottie, as always on rumors, well, we got to ask, facts or cap? And what do you think about this in general?
It is facts. There's no damn way they're gonna keep Kang. There's no way. I know you can recast, but it's just the whole stain of the thing, man. It. They're just gonna Dragon Ball GT it and pretend like it didn't happen. Just retcon it and just be like, "Yep."
Oh, but I
Dragon
wanted,
Ball GT.
but I wanted Pan to go Super Saiyan.
That ain't happening.
Or was it Super Saiyan 4? Let's go. You know what? Actually, I had an idea about this. Now, first of all, I will say also facts. It's pretty clear they're going to like kind of go away from Kang for whatever reason. And also they got a team of Avengers to assemble. And, as far as we've seen so far in the MCU, ain't been no assembling at all. There's been, in fact, it's if they are assembling it, you got to find all the parts first. So all we've seen is just a bunch of heroes doing whatever. So cool. I'm down with that being an Avengers. I hope it's even called Avengers Assemble. But also I hope they don't get rid of Kang. And I actually had an idea for Kang. Lottie, tell me what you feel about this. My idea is obviously you recast Kang. Get somebody cool, recast to be Kang. And look, they don't even have to look close to Jonathan Majors. They can just be another black dude, right? So some black actor that you like, that'll stick around for 3 or 4 movies. And then the first thing that happens is that when you see Kang, him show up, you'll just see, the big, Council of Kangs Coliseum thing that we saw at the end of Ant-Man. And then the first thing you see is that whole thing just get annihilated. Just absolutely destroy. Like they just destroy all of those Kangs, right? And then out of the smoke walks the new Kang, and he's like basically showing that he's killing the imposter Kangs. And this is the actual Kang the Conqueror that, the Fantastic Four and that the Avengers are going to have to contend with. He's, that's the guy. And to me, that's the two-parter. You put Jonathan Majors behind you by destroying his variants. And also, you show this Ultimate variant who ain't nothing to fuck with. He's not that guy that got beat by Ant-Man. This is the guy that utterly annihilates the Victor Timely version of Kang with the greatest of ease. I think that would be cool. But I mean, will they do that though?
It's unfortunately not going to happen because they've already can explain why Kang no longer exists off screen.
Yep, TVA. TVA keeping him in check, which is lame as shit. Yeah. That's the only thing about Loki season 2 I don't like. Is that they
basically turned Kang into a fodder villain. Kind of sucks, but that's what they did.
I can't even call it nerfing. I'm just like, nerfing would be generous. They cut this dude's legs out from underneath him. It's ridiculous. Either way, I think that's probably true. And also, I'm cool with Secret Wars being. Secret Wars is such a big story. Like the whole battle world, the incursions, they've got to work up to that. Like, for real. Like, I've seen rumors about, like, the next Doctor Strange being about incursions and Clea and all that other. Like, they got to work up to that because in the comics, it's such a gigantic thing. It's literally the entire multiverse being, like, broken apart and then kind of smashed together into one big world. And so there's all these various, multiversal things happening. And there's a Doctor Doom is running the show, and there's his police force, his enforcers are all these variants of Thor. You can't explain that in one fucking movie. You can't do that. That's not possible. So yeah, I think two-parter, that makes sense. So I don't know. It's a rumor. We'll keep an eye out. We'll let you guys know. Get any more information about that. Staying on rumors, we got one more. This is Lottie. Every time we talk about rumors about this movie, I feel like I'm kicking you while you're down. I feel like I feel like I'm rubbing salt into your wounds, and I don't like to do that. But I'm reporting on this. This is just something I hear. It's a rumor, so don't take it as fact. But apparently, Blade is being rewritten yet again, and they're looking for another writer. But they like the story that they have. But they need another writer and another treatment. So, Lottie, I don't like to be the guy that rains on your parade, but Blade ain't coming out next year, is it?
Right. I honestly stop caring that. I don't even think this movie exists at this point. I've told you this. I told you this like a year ago. I don't believe Blade exists.
Look, I think it exists. I don't think we're going to get it. I honestly and truly don't think Mahershala Ali is going to be Blade. Because the time, the clock is ticking. He's not young. He's in his 50s. I think if they don't get their shit together, and I'm not kidding, it is about to be June. If they don't get their shit together in the next 3 months, that movie's not coming out next year. No matter how much they try to make it be like the original Blade, which is, small amounts of CG, mostly practical effects. No matter how much they try to do that, they're not going to be able to make it. They got to film this damn thing and then do post-production. And,
this movie's definitely not coming out next year. I don't even know why they even pretended like that shit is happening. Like I said, it'll be 2030 by the time we get this movie.
At this point, it's really stupid that they even announced the fucking movie. Actually, I've thought that for a few years now. But it's kind of dumb to announce a movie.
Next year will be 6 years.
It's dumb to announce a movie just because an actor said, I want to do it, and they said, cool. That's it. That's it. That's all they had. They were riding high on, hey, we're the MCU, cool. And they were just gonna fudge it. I don't understand that. But it's Blade's gonna come out. It's just, is Mahershala Ali gonna be Blade? That's the real question. If not, maybe one day we can speculate, say who actually can be Blade in the MCU. But we'll let you guys know more about that if and when we get some information. So, moving on from the rumors, it's time for a hot take, and it's not a hot take from a rando on the internet for a change. It's a hot take from an actor who should know better, and I suspect does know better. And this is Antony Starr, who we all know and love to hate as Homelander in The Boys. And he was being interviewed because season 4 is coming up in a couple weeks, and it was brought up that they had also interviewed Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid, of course, we know as the voice of Superman in My Adventures with Superman, and he's Huey in The Boys. So they had asked Jack Quaid who will win between Superman and Homelander, and he said, well, he says he thinks that his Superman would eventually be able to beat Homelander. And they asked the same question to Antony Starr and told him what Jack Quaid said. And he had an interesting take on it, or as I like to call, a wrong take on it. But I get it. Look, and I get it, and I'll explain why. I get why he said what he said. So he says, "Oh, really? What is that? What he thinks about Jack Quaid?" Well, here's why Homelander would kick Superman's ass. There's no kryptonite factor, and Homie would fight so dirty. He's the type to go, "Oh, you got me," as he goes down and then comes up and throws sand in your eyes. He's the dirty dude, man. Whereas Superman is always like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, there's innocent children that might get hurt." Homie's going to human shield himself with the kids. So there's a hot take. He says Homelander would beat Superman. Now, Lottie, I don't think he's correct, but let's put some caveats on this. He's talking about My Adventures with Superman, or is he? Because Jack Quaid's talking about My Adventures with Superman. And as we know, he's not some invincible human tank or a Kryptonian tank.
My Adventures of Superman will annihilate Homelander. He will one-shot Homelander. Like, what are we talking about? The My Adventure of Superman that literally just decided to one-shot a freaking kaiju. Homelander can barely pick... Homelander, like what is there? What is this?
I was gonna say, is he trolling? Is he just trolling here? I feel like he's trolling. Yes. He's got to be trolling. It's a good troll. I'll say,
My Adventures of Superman can literally move at the speed of light.
Yeah, I just want to say, this is a good bit of baiting of the fan base. I love it. It's red meat for the fan base, and I kind of love it because I watched it. I was like, hell no, let me get on here and just like give this guy the biz. Then I read the interview and I was like, okay, you playing with us because you know better. You know that ain't real. That being said, I do love the fact that this is just gonna spark a lot of like nerd debates about it, and it's gonna be mostly us being like, no way in hell does he win. That's not even, he couldn't beat up, he couldn't, finish off his dad, who is basically just Captain America with a little bit more strength and like the ability.
Are we forgetting that Maeve was giving him everything? Like, Homelander stands that just love Homelander. And they talk about him and all that stuff. And I'm like, guys, did everybody just forget in season 3 that Maeve, if Maeve was with Homelander by herself, she would have beat Homelander by herself.
She was ready for him. But hey, can we call him, instead of Homelander stands, can we call them Homelander Glazers or Homie Glazers or something? Homie Glazers sounds so good that I want that to be real. Like, let's make that a thing. Homelander stands are Homie Glazers now. That's okay.
They're just weird,
That's
man. They think he can be straight up Superman, man,
it's.
and I'm just like
I,
the Superman who can literally sneeze away a solar system. Okay, yeah,
well, I mean,
uh,
let's just say it's my adventures with Superman, Kal-El, Clark, whatever. It's true. He's a Boy Scout. Absolutely, the human shield thing wouldn't work. The problem is, the big problem here is that I'm pretty sure Clark is faster than him, right?
yes.
But I mean, the human shield thing is real deal though. But he would only get to do it one time. Like if he pulls that trump card, he'd have to, because he'd be like, I'm gonna grab one of them and I'll keep them in front of me so you can't kill him. And no, that ain't gonna work. I guarantee you that's not gonna work. Uh, if you make him kill one person trying to get at you, you're going into the sun.
So,
Right.
so here's my thing. Here's my thing about Homelander. How fast is Homelander's land speed?
We don't know because we don't. I mean, he's faster than anybody on the show, except he's faster than anyone on the show except
Have
possibly.
we ever seen him actually speed blitz someone on land? Like, I'm not talking about flying. I'm talking about land speed. His land speed is not that impressive.
Well, but he still. I mean, he can fly. He would just fly and do it. I think the deal is probably A Train is faster than him, but like A Train has to stop at some
And
point.
A train is not as his speed is not as impressive as people think it is. That's what I'm saying. Like Homelander's land speed is not even because like you said, if he just tries to go like, oh, I'm about to go grab this kid, Superman can literally just go like witch time and be like, oh, that's where you're going.
Well, I'd like to think, and this is just my speculation, but I'd like to think that once Jack Quaid's Superman realized what was going on, he normally he's holding back, he's not trying to kill people or whatever, but he'd be like, oh no, this guy, I gotta play for real, and we know he can play for real. We know for sure when it comes down to it. He's like Goku. If you make him go Super Saiyan, shit is a wrap. He's still Superman. He really is. He's still Superman. And Homelander is, the weakest version of him. So yeah, no, this is not a real thing. But I will say again, good on Antony Starr. He's baiting the whole fucking fandom, and I love it. I kind of love it. I'm gonna be honest. Speaking of something else Antony Starr was talking about, he also was asked about his friendship with James Gunn and what could it mean for his future in the DCU. And I love, you can always tell that when actors have been part of they know how to work with NDAs and stuff like that. Because he's just like, we just played golf together, and I'm really excited about what James is doing over there. He's super talented and everything. That's great. You know what he didn't say, Lottie? You know what he didn't say?
What?
He didn't
What?
say, no, I'm not going to be in the DCU. That he didn't say he's not. See, that's these actors. They have a lot of sense about them. They playing their cards real close to the vest. He didn't say no.
Nobody ever wants to be an Andrew Garfield.
He didn't say nope. Definitely not going to be. He's just like, oh, we play golf together, man, and that guy's super talented, and I can't wait to see what DC looks like. Some people are speculating that he could be DC's Booster Gold, which they are making a TV show about, and are they're gearing up to start producing it. So Lottie, I mean, I don't think there's enough information to make a some kind of speculation, but who cares about that? What do you think? Do you think he's going to be Booster Gold? Is he just capping about this whole DC universe thing?
But so here's my thing. Why do people think he's gonna be Booster Gold? Maybe is it because of the look? Is there like legit rumors of him being Booster Gold, or
I think it's
like,
fan casting, but
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, where's this whole Booster Gold thing coming from?
yeah, I again, I mean, you gotta admit, just look at him, and he does kind of look like he could be Booster Gold. Just imagine,
Yes.
I mean, imagine that blue and yellow costume. He could be him. Um, what should he? Would he? I mean, I don't know. I would be down for it. Why not? Who wouldn't be? I don't know if that's real though. It's it could be. I just think again he's very well kind of trolling us fans because he knows that we're gonna jump on whatever, and whatever he says doesn't really matter. So he's just kind of being coy about it. Would you want him to be that, or actually forget Booster Gold? Would you want him to join the DCU?
I mean, Anthony Starr is a great actor. I would love to see him in almost anything. I I kind of will wonder how his non-Homelander face, him actually being a hero, it might creep me out because I'll think, is Homelander pretending to be nice? I might get anxiety even though he's trying to actually save people.
He should be Captain Boomerang, so he doesn't have to fake an American accent. There you go.
Uh,
There you go. I'm Look. We're super excited for season 4 of The Boys. I love this kind of PR stuff. Like we need more of this. That's one thing I kind of miss about some of these actors. They don't get into it. Into kind of messing with the fans and the audience like that. That why not? It's fun stuff. We get to talk about cool stuff like that. So we'll keep an eye out on this. Hopefully, we'll get some information about DC, the DC universe. But in the meantime, we are looking forward to season 4 of The Boys. So coming out in a couple weeks. And so that kind of leads us to we're going to do some reviews. We're going to review first the Marvel Studios What If, an immersive story. It's a game that's coming out for what's that thing, the Apple Vision Pro or whatever the hell it's called. That the two fucking expensive VR glasses that I'll never buy because I don't have anything Apple, and also $3,000 what the fuck Vision Pro. But it's a game that's coming out for that. They put a trailer out on on the internet, on the YouTubes, for us to watch, and we checked it out. And Lottie, I have to say, looks pretty fucking cool. Like much cooler than I thought when I first heard about it. Because it says an interactive story, but they may as well say, well, what if Beat Saber, but no music and doing cool stuff like in the MCU. I say that in the sense that it shows you, Wong teaching you quote magic, and you do hand gestures and stuff to, open gates and portals and to manipulate items. I have to say, if I had the money and the desire to spend the money on this, it would be pretty cool. And apparently they're going to get updates and stuff like that. It's not just one static game. So this could lead to many more games like this. And there was some cool stuff in there, because it's about multiverse stuff. We see alternate versions of different characters. One cool one that I remember was what's her name? Carol Danvers as Nova, which I thought that was dope. So Lottie, you check this out. What did you think about this? How are you feeling about this? This new game.
One of the coolest thing Marvel made that's never gonna be played. Unfortunately, no one's gonna play it.
Well,
It
how
might get
about that?
free downloads.
It's gonna get played, but is it gonna get played by the vast majority of the Marvel or the MCU fans? Probably no. Fuck no. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But it does look cool. if you had the ability to play it, would this be something you'd be down with?
Yeah, I would definitely do it. I don't get Marvel's thought process of putting it on a $3,000 headset that even rich people are not buying. Just it literally makes no sense. Like there are literal rich people that are not buying this thing, and the few
But
people that are buying it are probably not going to play it.
I just want to say, rich people, stop being such stingy bitches. Like y'all got the money. What you $3,000?
Well,
You ain't gonna miss it. Just go get
well,
it.
why spend $3,000 on an inferior headset? It's inferior to what's on the market. It just has the Apple logo on it.
Well, to some
That's
people
the problem.
that's some
It's
people
inferior.
that's all it needs is it just needs to be it just needs to have that little logo on it. Um, look, so we sort of talked about this a little bit briefly, and I kind of saved what I was thinking for now, and that is this: Marvel doesn't lose at all by doing this. They lose nothing. I can guarantee you. Now, I can guarantee you, Apple was like, we need killer apps for this thing, so people will actually want to, buy this, because they know it's a huge price tag. It's a very steep hill to climb for most people, and so it has to have, incentives to get on and pay that $3,000 price tag. So you got to have things that people want to play, and this is right up. I mean, like this is a super cool looking game. It's very interactive. I mean, it's if they have you believe it, it's gonna feel like you're Ned and No Way Home, just putting on the sling ring, opening up portals and doing shit. I mean, cool. Wong is gonna show up, all that good stuff. So it's a killer app essentially. And Apple, most definitely, if they didn't help finance this game, they paid Disney a good amount of money to make sure that this is the thing that's only on Apple Vision Pro. Like, because if you think about this game, there's no reason why this shouldn't and couldn't be on, Oculus, whatever the fuck that's called now, or any other VR headset that does, hand and whatever tracking and all that shit. So, and as you said, I don't know how the specs work out. The Vision, what is the Apple whatever Pro is inferior to other ones, so there's no reason this couldn't run on them. This is all about a paid exclusivity, and of course, Bob Iger has no problem with putting his hand out and getting money put into it. Doesn't matter if
I
this.
just
It
still
doesn't matter
think
if this sells. Like I can tell you, doesn't matter if this sells.
I
All
just I think that's still a dumb decision because yeah, Apple might be because I'm telling you, Apple's not exclusivity. Apple's not paying as much as they would have made on the open market because let's just say this app is just $10, right? The between the Oculus and the PSVR, that's 20 plus million customers. I just don't. To me, this was just a bad decision by Marvel.
I'm going.
I mean,
I'm going
even
to
if
throw
Disney
something.
paid,
I'm going to throw
Mhm.
something to you. Timed exclusive. Is it?
Okay, if it's a timed exclusive, it makes sense. If it's a full exclusive, it just doesn't make any sense.
I feel like this is probably a timed exclusive.
If
And
it's timed exclusive, then
the question is how
it
long.
makes sense.
What's the time period? Is the question.
It better be just 1 year.
Well, even if it's 2 years, when it drops, it's going to be a fanfare, and then people that have VR headsets are going to get to have it. Like
Well, but here's the problem. So I see what you're saying about if it's 2 years, but Maurice, what you have to understand is that nothing stays still in the gaming industry. Some other studio will make something like this and better in 2 years.
I mean, but
So
will it have Marvel? Will it have Marvel branding.
I mean, it
Because
doesn't even really have to have Marvel branding. Sony could make like just a good example. Like a good example. Sony could make an interactive experience with their gaming characters. And let's just say it came out at the same time that this finally gets off of unexclusivity 2 years later. People are not going to buy it that much because there's a better it's good like just so I could give you a great example of what's happening right now. Finally, Kingdom Hearts is coming to Steam after being locked on the Epic Play Store for years now. And Square Enix is shocked that it's not selling. Because you know why? Better RPGs have come out. You took too long.
yeah,
Better RPGs have came out, even though it's Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of the kings of RPGs, but better RPGs have came out. You waited too long. So if you're going to do a time exclusive, 1 year at most, 2 years, you have the risk of something better coming out. Even though the IP might be strong, you got to understand that most of the people that are going to be playing this are who? Kids. A lot of these kids didn't grow up with a lot of these kids didn't really grow up with the MCU. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They really didn't.
Which is weird to say, but yeah.
But it's true, yeah. A lot of these kids that are like 10 years old now, you got to think, man. 10 years ago, what's the call was coming out? Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
But you
true.
got to be careful.
I think as long if it's just like one in a series, or if it's something that's going to be constantly, there's going to be new content added, or if after a couple years or whatever there's multiple chapters and then they do a complete series, bam, here's on that's not exclusive to Apple anymore. I think it could work. I honestly don't think this is a losing scenario for Disney, mainly because they aren't really into the game section. And like I said, I understand them. They might put new stuff on there, whatever. It's not going to kill them, mainly because they're not like Sony. They don't have if they have a games division, it's not big and it's not important. What's important is making money off of their IP. And, getting this little exclusive thing, fine, it's cool. If it doesn't work out, all right, well, we just have this thing that later on we can just put on, PC or whatever. I don't think they're, maybe they're leaving money on the table or whatever, but it's probably not that much. It's not as much, because, the VR market is big, but I don't think it's huge. They got a lot of work to get it moving forward. I think that's the whole point of this Apple Vision Pro thing, is that when Apple starts making shit, suddenly people are like, oh my God, it's the future. Look at their great things. And I'm like, their products have lesser hardware than the shit that already exists. Like, what are y'all talking about? But that's the way they are. That's their whole market is super as casuals that don't know any better. That's not fair. I know that's not fair. I know there are people that are into like really cool tech that like their stuff. But like, let's be real. That's kind of their thing.
The thing about Apple is that cell phones, but like their laptops and computers are actually pretty good now. The only thing that sucks about is their software is just asinine, and your ability to actually work with the software and make changes to stuff is complete to zero. Like it is. That's why like almost no developer messes with Apple, because it sucks when it comes to development.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this is cool though. I want to watch. I want someone to do a run through of it and just post it online so I can live vicariously through them. Hopefully they'll do that, but we'll let you guys know how everything works out for this when it drops. and any more information. So finally, we're going to do something kind of out of the ordinary, which is we're reviewing a fan film. And then we had to. Lottie, I saw this kind of floating around on social media last week, and I finally clicked on it. And I was like, let me see what this is about. I was like, Viking Wolverine? Come on. That's that a thing.
Can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
That's not historically accurate.
What, Wolverine being a Viking?
Yeah, it was just a joke.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, the historical inaccuracies. There weren't any Canadians back in Viking times. Get out of here. The representation is wrong. Like, no, it's, and let me say, this is actually fucking amazing. It's called Logan the Wolf. It's like, what is it, like 10 minutes or something like that? The story is thin as hell because it's a fan film. It's not going to have a big, deep story. And it sort of relies on you to sort of know what the X-Men are in order to, like, kind of speed run through the quote background of this movie or this little film. But that being said, it's Logan is a Viking living out in the woods, and basically these, these bounty hunters come out to kind of get him but he's also sort of a boogeyman that lives out in the woods. And then so they got like their spears and axes and shit like that, and they're like, all of the costuming is good and everything. And then they proceed to have this badass Hollywood level action sequence, with let me just say, the post effects, like the blood and all, it doesn't look great, but like, it's a fucking fan film. So as far as fan film goes, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
And it's just like the stunt choreography, all that is just top notch. I could see this like in a real movie. And then, so I'm like, okay, all that goes down dope. Then they come and bring on, what is it? 687 AD Magnus, Eric Lensher or whatever you want to call him, Magneto out in that bitch too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this shit is like dope. This shit is, look, I'm gonna get, I'm grading on a curve because obviously it's a fan film, so I don't expect Hollywood level stuff. But this shit's a 10 out of 10 for me. This is like, I enjoyed this 10 minutes better than I enjoyed any, like this. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed anything in Madam Web. It's so, I don't know what else. I'm gonna say more. Lottie, what'd you think about this thing?
Oh, it was good. I honestly could see this like if they ever wanted to do some experimental type thing of just hey, Marvel's just like, hey, we need some like, some old, how a lot of people now love watching Knights and Vikings and shit. Marvel's just like, hey, we need something like this. Can y'all do this? I can honestly see them with a little bit of a bigger budget and making a pretty decent medieval Viking like show about this, of like an alternate universe where the mutants that we know, not just mutants, but the mutants that we know, were in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
And turns out Thor is what's it called? Storm.
Yeah. Or I mean, Thor could just, still be there, but Storm is like a Valkyrie. Oh yeah, I mean, look, you can do whatever. This very much has a vibe of that 1602 episode from What If. You remember where Steve Rogers being out of time, and then suddenly the Avengers were showing up, under King, was it Henry VIII? So that was very cool. But look, again, the plot's very thin. It's just basically a reason for there to be a big action sequence. The whole bit with Magneto being like, join me, and he's like, get the fuck away from me, is the most Wolverine thing possible. Like, Wolverine to absolutely be like, I'm not joining your cause. Get the hell out of my woods. And Magneto's like, well, all right, well, I guess we're just gonna have to fight. And then they at the end of it, they sort of he walks away and there's a bloody helmet, right? And then the helmet starts sliding away, like sliding back. And I was like, man, how dare y'all leave me on this cliffhanger? But that shit was just so good. Of course I looked up the person behind it, the YouTube channel, the person involved. What obviously there's more than that's a cast and the crew and everything that did the fan film. The guy's a filmmaker. He's a stunt coordinator, production designer, so forth. That explains why this looks so good. He knows what he's doing. His crew knows what they're doing. And obviously there was some real money put into it. Just for finding a place to do this, getting costumes and everything like that, the action sequence and everything, like, because I could see there. I don't know if there was wire work. There might have been a little bit of wire work, but also the After Effects and everything like that. The whole bit with Magneto having the swords suspended. Somebody had to do that. Just excellent. I love just finding stuff like this that just kind of scratches that itch. We have been graced with some not so great content. I keep saying Madam Web, but I just want to. We get graced with shit like that. At some point, like near this in around Christmas, we're gonna get Kraven the Hunter, and it's gonna do stuff similar to this. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, Lottie, I just want to be like, Feige, what are you doing? Go find this guy, find his crew, and y'all make something happen.
Like I said, they can easily just make it. Doesn't even have to be like an official like Marvel thing in Disney Plus. It can just be some content that you put on Netflix or Amazon Prime. You know what I mean? Like I would watch it.
Go get these guys. And real quick, get Ryan Reynolds to put on the suit and everything, and have this be one of the Wolverine variants that's in Deadpool and Wolverine. There you go. Bam. I've made it work. Pay them and make it happen. Because, I mean, come on. Anyway, I'm not going to keep on going on about it. Lottie, I'm just saying, like, we definitely tell people that they got to watch this. Because, I mean, that shit was good. It's just good. So, shout out to the creators there. If I can find the name of the guy, but shout out to the creator. Well, I'll include that on the screen so y'all can see who that is. Definitely go check that out. So, anyway, that's all of our news for this week. All of our items for this week. But you know what? Maybe we missed something, or you guys agree, disagree. You just had something you wanted to share with us. You know what to do. Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Threads and on Instagram, and super_not_funny_show on TikTok. And while you're down there doing that, do us a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other videos that we do. And, I can't do this by myself. My good friend Lottie always has, good thoughts and definitely good insights into all this superhero stuff. So, Lottie, where can they reach you on social media?
Oh yeah, you can always find me on my Instagram and YouTube. My YouTube channel and my Instagram are both named Anu Kinihun. Again, it's Anu Kinihun, ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. Like I said, I've been posting lately, posting some videos. One video in particular is doing very well that I'm proud of that you guys can check out. I'm gonna start posting more like little 10-minute essays of just video games or different topics in the gaming industry that I want to talk about. So check those out.
Yeah, I'll definitely go check out Lottie's socials, show some love, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do over there on his YouTube channel. But thanks for joining us on the 151st episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. Got plenty more to talk about. And also go to the channel, check out our latest review of My Adventure with Superman, Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. It's a good time, and you guys should definitely be watching that show. So either way, until next week, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.